to Games from Folktales, a podcast that mixes historical research and tabletop role-playing settings. I'm your host, Timothy Ferguson. This week we finish our little season of poems by Walter de la Mare. 6 brief pieces with a mixture of monsters and locations, a couple of minor notes in explanation of what's to follow. The second poem's called The Gauge, and it seems to have been read The Cage, presumably because they thought this was a spelling mistake. A gauge is a thing that is promised as a forfeit to a broken promise. Also, the Peddler at the end seems to be a return to one of our earliest celebratory episodes, episode 50, Is This a Goblin Costermonger? Thanks again to all the LibriVoxers whose material I've used during this series of episodes.
The Pilgrim, read for LibriVox.org by Greg Giordano. Shall we carry now your bundle, you old gray man, over hill and dale and meadow, lighter than an owlet's shadow? We will whirl it through the air, through blue regions shrill and bare, so you may in comfort fare. Shall we carry now your bundle, you old gray man? The Pilgrim lifted up his eyes, and saw 3 fiends in the skies, stooping o'er that lonely place, evil in form and face. "Nay," he answered, leave me, you 3 wild fiends. Far it is my feet must wander, and my city lieth yonder. I must bear my bundle alone, till the day be done." The fiends stared down with leaden eye, fanning the chill air duskily. 'Twixt their hoods they stoop and cry, "Shall we smooth the path before you, you old gray man? Sprinkle it green with gilded showers, strew it over with painted flowers, lure bright birds to sing and flit in the honeyed airs of it? Shall we smooth the path before you, gray old man?" "Oh, 'tis better silence, silence, ye 3 wild fiends! Footsore am I, faint and weary, dark the way, forlorn and dreary, beaten of wind, torn of briar, smitten of rain, parched with fire. Oh, silence, 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 ye 3 wild fiends!" It seemed a smoke obscured the air, bright lightning quivered in the gloom, and a faint voice of thunder spake, far in the lone hill hollows, "Come!" Then, half in fury, half in dread, the fiends drew closer down, and said, "Nay, thou stubborn fond old man, hearken a while. Thorn and dust and ice and heat, tarry now, sit down and eat. Heat and ice, and dust and thorn, stricken, footsore, parched, forlorn, juice of purple grape shall be youth and solace unto thee. Music of tambour, wire, and wind, ease shall bring to heart and mind. Wonderful sweet mouths shall sigh, languishing and lullaby. Turn then, curse the dream that lures thee, turn thee ere too late it be, lest thy 3 true friends grow weary of comforting thee." The Pilgrim crouches terrified, as stooping hood and glassy face, gloating evil side by side. Terror and hate brood o'er the place. He flings his withered hands on high, with a bitter, breaking cry, "Leave me, leave me, leave me, leave me, ye 3 wild fiends! If I lay me down in slumber, then I lay me down in wrath. If I stir not in dark dreaming, then I wither in my path. If I hear sweet voices singing, 'tis a demon's lullaby, and in hideous storm and terror wake but to die." And even as he spake, on high arrows of sunlight pierced the sky. Bright streamed the rain o'er burning snow. From hill to hill a wondrous bow of color and fire trembled in air, painting its heavenly beauty there. Wild flapped each fiend a bat-like hood against that frightening light, and stood beating the windless rain, and then rose heavy and slow with cowering head, circled in company again, and into darkness fled. Marvellous sweet it was to hear the waters gushing loud and clear. Marvellous happy it was to be alone and yet not solitary. Oh, out of terror and dark to come, in sight of home. The Cage. Lady Jane, O Lady Jane, your hound hath broken bounds again, and chased my timorous deer, oh! If him I see, that hour he'll dee, my brake shall be his bier, oh! Hoots, Lord, speak not so proud to me, my hound, I trow, is fleet and free, he's welcome to your deer, oh! Shoot, shoot you may, he'll gang his way, your threats we nothing fear, oh! He's fetched him in, he's laid him low, drips his life blood red and slow, darkens his dreary eye, oh! Here is your beast, and now at last my herds in peace shall lie, oh! In peace, my lord, oh mark me well, for what my jolly hound befell, you shall sup 20-fold, oh! For every tooth of his, in sooth, a stag in pawn I hold, oh! Huntsman and horn, shall scour your heaths and coverts lorn, braying 'em shrill and clear, oh! But lone and still shall lift each hill, each valley wan and sere, oh! Ride up you may, ride down you may, lonely or trooped by night or day, my hound shall haunt you ever, bird, beast, and game shall dread the same, the wild fish of your river. Her cheek burns angry as the rose, her eye with wrath and pity flows, he gazes fierce and round, oh! Dear Lord, he says, what loveliness to waste upon a hound, oh! I'd give my stags, my hills and dales, my stormcocks and my nightingales, to have undone this deed, oh! For deep beneath my heart is death, which for her love doth bleed, oh! He wanders up, he wanders down, on foot, a horse, by night and noon, his lands are bleak and drear, oh! Forsook his dales of nightingales, forsook his moors of deer, oh! Forsook his heart, ah me, of mirth, there's nothing gladsome left on earth, all thoughts and dreams seem vain, oh! Save where remote the moonbeams gloat, and sleeps the lovely Jane, oh! Until an even, when lone he went, gnawing his beard in dreariment, lo! from a thicket hidden, lovely as flower, in April hour steps forth a form unbidden. "Get ye now down, my lord, to me, I'm troubled so I'm like to dee." She cries 'twixt joy and grief, oh! "My hound is dead!" When all is said, but love is past belief, oh! Nights, nights I've lain your lands to see, forlorn and still, and all for me, all for a foolish curse, oh! Now here am I, come out to die, to live unloved is worse, oh! In faith this lord, in that lone dale, hears now a sweeter nightingale, and lairs a tenderer deer, oh! His sorrow goes, like mountain snows, in waters sweet and clear, oh! What ghostly hound is this that fleet comes fawning to his mistress's feet, and courses round his master? How swiftly love may grief remove, how happy make disaster! Now here he smells, now there he smells, winding his voice along the dells, till grey flows up the morn, oh! Then hies again to Lady Jane, no longer now forlorn, oh! Aye, as it were a bud did break to loveliness for her love's sake, so she in beauty moving, rides at his hand across his land, beloved as well as loving.
The Peddler. The Peddler. There came a Peddler to an evening house. Sweet Lettice from her lattice looking down, wondered what man he was, so curious. His black hair dangled on his tattered gown. Then lifts he up his face with glittering eyes. "What will you buy, sweetheart? Here's honeycomb, and mottled pippins, and sweet mulberry pies, comfits and peaches, snowy cherry bloom, to keep in water for to make night sweet. All that you want, sweetheart, come, taste and eat." Even with his sugared words returned to her the clear remembrance of a gentle voice. And oh, my child, should ever a flatterer tap with his wares and promise of all joys and vain sweet pleasures that on earth may be, seal up your ears, sing some old happy song, confuse his magic who is all mockery. His sweets are death, yet still how she doth long but just to taste, then shut the lattice tight, and hide her eyes from the delicious sight. "What must I pay?" she whispered. "Pay?" says he. "Peddler I am, who through this wood to roam. One lock of her hair is gold enough for me, For apple, peach, comfit, or honeycomb." But from her bough a drowsy squirrel cried, "Trust him not, Lettice, trust, oh, trust him not." And many another woodland tongue beside Rose softly in the silence, "Trust him not." Then cried the Peddler in a bitter voice, "What in the thicket is this idle noise?" A late harsh blackbird smote him with her wings, As through the glade dark in the dim she flew. Yet still the Peddler his old burden sings, "What, pretty sweetheart, shall I show to you? Here's orange ribands, here's a string of pearls, Here's silk of buttercup and pansy glove, A pin of tortoiseshell for windy curls, A box of silver scented sweet with clove. Come now," he says, with dim and lifted face, "I pass not often such a lonely place." "Pluck not a hair," a hidden rabbit cried, "With but one hair he'll steal thy heart away. Then only sorrow shall thy lattice hide. Go in, all honest peddlers come by day." There was dead silence in the drowsy wood. Here's syrup for to lull sweet maids to sleep, And bells for dreams, and fairy wine and food, All day thy heart in happiness to keep. And now she takes the scissors on her thumb. "Oh, then no more unto my lattice come." Sad is the sound of weeping in the wood. Now only night is where the Peddler was, And bleak as frost upon a quickling bud His magic steals in darkness. Oh, alas! Why all the summer doth sweet Lettice pine? And ere the wheat is ripe, why lies her gold Hidden fresh, new plucked sprigs of eglantine? Why all the morning hath the cuckoo tolled, Sad, to and fro, in green and secret ways, With solemn bells, the burden of his days? And in the market place what man is this, Who wears a loop of gold upon his breast, Stuck heartwise, and whose glassy flatteries Take all the townsfolk ere they go to rest? Who, come to buy and gossip, doth his eye Remember a face lovely in a wood? Oh, people, hasten, hasten, do not buy! His woful wares the bird of grief doth brood, There where his heart should be, and far away There mourns long sorrowfulness this happy day. The Ogre. 'Tis moonlight on Trebarwith vale, And moonlight on an ogre keen, Who, prowling hungrily through the dale, A lone cottage hath seen. Small, with thin smoke ascending up, 3 casements and a door. The Ogre eager is to tap, And here seems dainty store. Sweet as a larder to a mouse, So to him staring down Seemed the small windowed moonlit house, With jasmine overgrown. He snorted as the billows snort In darkness of the night; Betwixt his lean locks tawny swart, He glowered on the sight. Into the garden sweet with peas He put his wooden shoe, And bending back the apple trees, Crept covetously through. Then stooping with a gloating eye, Stared through the lattice small, And spied 2 children which did lie Asleep against the wall. Into their dreams no shadow fell Of his disastrous thumb, Groping, discreet and gradual, Across the quiet room. But scarce his nail had scraped the cot Wherein these children lay, As if his malice were forgot, It suddenly did stay. For faintly in the ingle nook He heard a cradle song, That rose into his thoughts and woke Terror them among. For she who in the kitchen sat, Darning by the fire, Guileless of what he would be at, Sang sweet as wind or wire, "Lulay, thou little tiny child, Bye bye, lulay, lulee. Jesu in glory meek and mild This night remember thee. Fiend, witch, and goblin, foul and wild, He deems them smoke to be. Lulay, thou little tiny child, Bye bye, lulay, lulee." The Ogre lifted up his eyes Into the moon's pale ray, And gazed upon her leopard wise, Cruel and clear as day. He snarled in gluttony and fear, "The wind blows dismally. Jesu, in storm my lambs be near. Bye bye, lulay, lulee." And like a ravenous beast which sees the hunter's icy eye, so did this wretch in wrath confess sweet Jesu's mastery. Lightly he drew his greedy thumb from out that casement pale, and strode enormous swiftly home, whinnying down the dale.
The Stranger. In the woods as I did walk, dappled with the moon's beam, I did with a stranger talk, and his name was Dream. Spurred his heel, dark his cloak, shady wide his bonnet's brim, his horse beneath a silvery oak grazed as I talked with him. Softly his breast brooch burned and shone, hill and deep were in his eyes. One of his hands held mine, and one the fruit that makes men wise. Wondrously strange was earth to see, flowers white as milk did gleam, spread to heaven the Assyrian tree, over my head with dream. Dews were still betwixt us twain, stars a trembling beauty shed, yet not a whisper comes again of the words he said. End of The Stranger. End of section 31. This recording is in the public domain. Recorded by Greborn Jorn.